81040 Rob Stern. Fridays on 1040 AM and 106.9 FM. KGGR.
Well, good afternoon to you, everyone. I'm Tonya Hall. I want to thank you for joining us for Mortgage Solutions Financial right here on 1040 AM and 106.9 FM. And of course, every Friday you come here to hear the guru of financial everything relating to a home, loans, financial literacy, everything you can imagine that points to you becoming a homeowner. Rob Stern is the guy to speak with. He's been here for a very long time. Let's bring him to the stage. Hey, Rob Stern, how's it going on this Friday?
Very well, Tonya. A very long time. I don't know how to take that. That's okay.
That just means you're seasoned like me.
I'm seasoned. Okay, very good. Yeah, you know what? I've done this for 32 years, so I do have a little seasoning on me. I guess you could say
it's spicy.
Spicy. There you go. You know what? I appreciate the opportunity to be here and talk with you and all of our listeners, our viewers. Our goal in doing this every week is obviously to educate and inform. That's the whole purpose behind.
Absolutely.
Behind these conversations that we have. And I think that you mentioned financial literacy just a few moments ago. Financial literacy is something that is key to all of us as we mold and shape our life and what it's going to look like moving forward. I know you're a homeowner.
Yes.
I'm a homeowner. There's a lot of people out there who still are not homeowners, though. They're wasting their money on rent because they're either afraid or they haven't been properly educated as to the benefits of home ownership. And again, financial literacy, financial education is something that I think we all need more of. And I can only speak about my generation, but my father. And God bless him, and I miss him every day of my life. But he didn't educate me. He didn't educate me into what financial responsibility truly was. And I think maybe that was a generational thing, perhaps, but still, that's the whole reason why we do this. We want people to ask questions. We want people to feel like they have been educated just a little bit further after they listen to our show. Give us a call.
Absolutely. Let's start with the studio line. Now, listen, I'm going to give you this number now because I know you want to ask some questions. The KGGR studio number is open for you at 972-988-1040. Again, that's 972-988-1040. And Rob, if they don't want to talk on the air and they just want to call you directly, what's your number for them to contact you?
Yes, ma'am. They can call me directly at 972-739-2350.
And looks like we have a caller now.
Oh, wow, that was fast.
Quick. Cool. Let's go to the KGGR studio line and welcome in to Rob Stern. Hi there. Who's on the phone line? What's your name and where are you calling from?
Deborah Williams from Dallas, Texas.
Hi, Deborah. Go ahead and ask Rob your question.
Yes, I was trying to see if y'all help pay rent.
Well, what you mean help pay rent? So you're looking for some sort of an assistance program?
Yes, sir. I'm looking for it.
Yes, ma'am. Have you contacted the city of Dallas by any chance? They have a mortgage assistance programs that are based on income or handicap or what have you. No, I'm a mortgage lender. I will lend money to go buy a home as long as you can document the income for it. But I probably recommend you give the city of Dallas a call. They will point you in the right direction. I'm certain of.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for calling, Miss Deborah, and we hope you get the help that you need.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yes, ma'am. God bless you. Yes,
and again, that number is 972-988-1040. Again, that's 972-988-1040. Rob Stern is here to speak with you. Are you thinking about getting a home, or are you seems like the city of Dallas, and not just the city of Dallas, the whole country, the interest rates are a little different right now. But Rob, you always have taught us it's never a bad time to buy a house.
Well, what's really interesting is that right now, this is actually a great time to be in the market as a homeowner, because I think what's happened is with these rate increases, which we've all experienced and we've all seen,
Right.
and they've impacted us everywhere, not only at the gasoline pump, but at the grocery store.
Inflation.
Everything from putting tires on your car to buying plants to plant in your front yard, or everything is more expensive now.
Yeah.
But these interest rates have obviously caused houses to decline in value, not significantly in some areas, and in some areas we're still seeing market appreciation. But the point is, what's going on now is that as the economy contracts, which is what's happening, buying a home makes more sense now than it ever will, because we're seeing these apartment rents go up. I've got people telling me $400, $500 a month in excess rent for the same apartment.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing, no amenities have changed. It's the
And
same apartment, the same location, higher rates.
it makes absolutely no sense. There's nothing logical to it, other than the fact that the landlord knows they can do it and they can get away with it. And if you choose not to take that apartment, then there's 5 people waiting in line right behind you to come take that apartment for more money. So, buying a home right now, while the market allows you to, is the right thing to do. You buy a home because it's a house, it's what you want. You can refinance that house in a few years when the rates retract, and they will come down. It's a presidential election year next year. Rates always soften up during a presidential election. More importantly, this economy can't take much more of these higher rates. We're seeing like Miss Deborah that called a bit ago, people that need assistance with their rent. People are starting to really feel the pressure of what's going on, and what our government, what our elected officials, the people we have in office to support us, what they're doing to us. It's wrong. It's painful, and it's causing a lot of people to put themselves into an uncomfortable situation. So again, that's why we do the show. We want people to call us. My direct dial number is 972-739-2350. That's 972-739-2350. And you can also find me on the internet, but please find me. Go to Lenders Texas, LendersTexas.com.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know what? Let's go over and talk about the one group of people that things don't change for with mortgage solutions and with government loans. Let's talk about that VA loan. They stay the same no matter what. And that's the beauty of the VA loan.
You're right. A VA loan, a veteran will never have a down payment whatsoever, ever, never. It doesn't matter what your credit score is. If you've got a 400 credit score or if you've got an 800 credit score, you're not going to have to deal with a down payment. That's something you are entitled to as a veteran. And it will always be that way. As a direct lender, Lenders Residential Mortgage, the mortgage solutions, will underwrite that loan all the way up to a 65% debt ratio as well. I've put so many veterans into homes that just think for whatever reason they can't qualify. I have no minimum credit score, and that's very important. No minimum credit score to be a homeowner as a veteran. But you got to give me a call. That's again the whole point we're trying to get everybody to understand. Just give us a call. We'll get you pointed in the right direction. There is never a reason to say no to a mortgage loan. There's never a reason to turn you down. We will tell you, if anything, how to get yourself to the point of success. And that's what it's all about. Let's create an action plan and become a homeowner.
Yeah. Now, can a person that's what if a person that's a veteran never used the government loan, and do they time out after a certain age? Say they're 80, say they're 70. Do they time out after a certain age?
That's a great question. No, they do not time out, ever, never. No, a veteran can buy a home as long as as long as he has entitlement, and that entitlement does not go away. And something else that's really interesting is the fact that a VA loan is evergreen, meaning it will refresh itself. So a veteran can buy a home and then sell that home and buy another home as a veteran and use his benefits, and then sell that home and buy another home and use his benefits to buy that home.
Wow.
So veterans have a tremendous amount of opportunity as homeowners, but I think that, you know, we keep running into the same brick wall, unfortunately, and that is that people have been told no in the past, and because of that, they are either embarrassed or uncomfortable with putting themselves through the process again, and that's just not necessary. I've got people, Tonya, that I've worked with for 3 years getting them ready to become homeowners. But we will get you into a home. You just got to start somewhere. You got to have.
And it's a process. I love what you said. You may have, because I knew some people, Rob, that applied for a home and they were denied. When I say denied, they weren't financially ready for what they were wanting. And so because they didn't want to scale down, then they had to go and do some more work to get to the financial place, credit wise, finances that they need to be to get the loan that they would like for the amount of house they need. So talk to people about that. Sometimes people give up because they have in their mind they want a $475,000 home right out the gate. And then if they don't get approved for anything more than a 200, then they just say, well, I can't buy a home. And they think that's it. So have you had people come in and maybe wanted something like let's just say $500,000, $400,000 house, but their income nor credit couldn't support it? What's the process for a person like that?
Well, first off, I would say to anybody who wants to become a homeowner, congratulations, because that's the first step. The first step is deciding that it's time to stop throwing your money away and renting anything.
Yes.
You can't always start at the top. You don't hire into a company as the CEO. You hire in, you hire in as an employee. You have to begin somewhere.
That's good.
And I think it's great to aspire to buy, a specific type of a home, but that doesn't mean that's where you have to begin the process. As a matter of fact, and this is something that I think everybody should really acknowledge, anybody that bought a home 3 years ago has probably seen that home almost double in value. And at that point, you sell the house you're in.
Almost double, but not double. But
congratulations. So at that point, you sell the house, you take your equity, and then you go buy the house you want. I mean, it's when we were children, we all played with building blocks. I think that's a fair comparison. So being a homeowner and reaching the pinnacle of what you want to own is like using building blocks. You have to assemble that success properly. You have to gradually work your way up. I applaud anybody for having a clear vision, but sometimes we have to maybe take a step backwards and reassess where we are in order to move twice as far forward.
Right. And that doesn't mean that the dream is, a squash. It's just delayed. So that you can be comfortable when you step into that role. And so I love that you said that you just go back, just wait a minute. So, a year or two goes by fast. I've been in my home 3 years now. That went by fast. I went, oh, wow, it's 3 years. And so that's the same thing when you're doing work on, on your dream of getting a certain amount of home. So you can get things together. Maybe you get a promotion at work, get a raise, or, whatever you need to do to get to that level where you can't afford that type of house. Because Rob, I've heard you say before, you never want to put anyone into something that after about a year or 6 months, they realize this is too much for me and I probably shouldn't have done it.
And that's the whole reason why as a lender, We use something called a debt to income ratio, which we've discussed before, meaning how much an individual truly earns and how much an individual can spend comfortably. We don't want anybody to buy a home with the end result being that they have to give the house back or they have to sell the house because they can't afford to keep it. We want people to be comfortable. And because of that, it's great to aspire to more and to a bigger house or a better neighborhood or what have you. But again, you may have to take your time and stair step your way to get there, quite literally, because it's a matter of what you can afford comfortably. And I think that's my responsibility as a lender. That's what we are charged with. It's our responsibility to tell you what you can qualify for based on a debt to income ratio, and then it's the consumer's responsibility to identify what they are comfortable with. Interestingly enough, when people come to me, Tonya, and they say, well, I want to buy a house, and I'll ask them, okay, how much do you want to spend? They give me a payment. They don't tell me a price. How much do you want to spend on a house? I would expect an answer like 300,000 or 200,000, and instead they'll say $1,700 a month. and that's not the solution. That's not the answer to the question. We have to back into these numbers, and maybe you can afford a $1,700 a month house, but perhaps you can afford more. There's also taxable advantages to home ownership that a lot of people don't even take into account when they choose to become a homeowner. But the main issue here, and the main criteria, is talk to a professional, talk to somebody who knows what they're doing, so they can help you through the process of moving towards home ownership. As a direct lender, Mortgage Solutions has a lot of access to product that's not available readily in the market in other places. Like I said, VA mortgage loans to a 65% debt ratio, which means basically 30% more house that a veteran can afford if I close their mortgage loan. On an FHA mortgage loan, we can go to a 57% debt ratio, which is 15% more than an individual can typically qualify for. But you've got to give us an opportunity to get things positioned the right way, so that we can build that action plan. Action plan is everything when it comes to becoming a homeowner and buying a house. A success plan, so to speak. You have to know what you're doing. You got to have a vision and then execute on that vision.
Absolutely. It's with anything that you aspire for or to, you got to have a plan. The Bible tells us to write the vision, make it plain. You got to have a plan. So let's switch gears here and go to those that are already in a home. Let's talk about a term that I heard come up on a show that I was watching, but not really watching until I heard this term. And I said, oh, I'm going to ask Rob about that come Friday. It's called reverse mortgage loan.
Okay.
Are the advantages to that? I heard some stuff. I was like, what? Really? What? And they were speaking of, it was a person that had some elderly parents that wanted to take out the reverse mortgage loan because they decided in the family of 4 kids, the kids were well off, college educated, got their own homes. They decided that they didn't need the parents home. And they were saying, Mom and Dad, you should take some time, go get a reverse mortgage loan, get this lump sum of money, go travel the world, get on a cruise ship for 2 months at a time, do something you love as you go out of here. Talk to us about this reverse mortgage loan. And can I get it right now at 52?
Well, no, you cannot.
Yeah, that was one of the criteria. Talk to us about reverse mortgage.
So a reverse mortgage is a mortgage that is based on age as much as anything, not necessarily credit, but age. On a reverse mortgage is exactly what you would expect. What you would expect out of a mortgage. A reverse mortgage is the opposite of a traditional home loan. On a traditional home loan, you make a payment every month and you owe a little bit less. On a reverse mortgage, you do not make a payment every month. but every month you owe a little bit more on the amount you financed. That's why it's called a reverse mortgage.
Gotcha.
On a reverse mortgage, you take equity out of your home just as you would on any kind of a home equity loan. On a reverse mortgage, you have to be at least 62 years old, and the amount of money that you receive can vacillate or fluctuate all the way up to 80% in the state of Texas.
Mhm.
What happens is we pay off your existing mortgage, and that mortgage goes away totally, and you make no more principal and interest payment. So it's a great financial planning tool for individuals that are older, and for individuals who have a lot of equity in their house, but they don't want to sell the house. And certainly, if you have your children that are behind you, encouraging you to move forward, that helps. Because I think one of the interesting things that I see more often than not when I speak to people about their mortgage and what they want to do with their mortgage, and a home equity loan or a reverse mortgage, whichever, is that the parents, meaning mom and dad, are always very thoughtful of their children. And they always say, and the parents continue to say, well, I want this to go to my son, or I want this to go to my daughter because they've got my grandchildren or whatever.
Wow.
But when you talk to the children, the
Interesting.
children say, no, we want mom and dad to enjoy their life. We want mom and dad to get the benefit of the equity in that house. We don't need the home. We don't need their money. We're making our own way in life. And that's fair. I mean, that's only the right way to look at it. Sometimes maybe children get a little bit of a different notion. But yeah, as we age, as homeowners, we build up all this equity in a home, which is the reason why we buy homes to begin with.
Right.
Use that equity to enjoy the remainder of your time here on earth, and that's what a home equity loan can provide when you do it through a reverse mortgage. Now, a reverse mortgage is just one way of taking equity out of your house. You can also take equity out of your house through a traditional mortgage loan, meaning a loan that you pay back every month. And so there are several of these financial planning vehicles that are available to individuals. Again, it's just a matter of calling us. Call us on the radio if you have questions about it. Call me directly if you have questions about it and you're uncomfortable speaking on the radio. But again, do not perish for the lack of knowledge. That's something Robert Ashley used to say over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Do not perish because of your lack of knowledge. Ask questions. Questions are free.
That's right.
And it's our goal to educate and inform the whole community. That's why we do this.
Absolutely. And that's why we have you here every Friday from 1 p.m. to 1:30. The community needs Rob Stern and Mortgage Solutions Financial to answer these questions. Hey, listen, all of this free information and knowledge that you're getting, I don't think you can find it on too many other places. And Rob, we love and trust, has been here for so many years. And so we're just so appreciative to all the tools and knowledge that you provide to us. Now, the phone lines are open. We got about 4 minutes at 972-988-1040. If you'd like to ask a question. Again, that's 972-988-1040. Okay, Rob, I heard you say that reverse mortgage loan, you got to be 62.
Yes, and I know you're not anxious to get
52, 62.
I know you're not. I know you're not anxious to speed the clock up. I know I'm not.
I'm not.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. And I think that just like everything else in the mortgage industry, the qualifying parameters behind a reverse mortgage have changed significantly over the past several years. A reverse mortgage is typically an FHA-backed mortgage, so it's backed by the U.S. government.
That's great.
It's a great financial tool, and I see a lot of people that are choosing to go in this direction. And again, all of this is being impacted by our economy. Our economy is causing a lot of stress, especially on seniors.
Oh, looks like we got a call, Rob. Let's pull him in here at this last 3 minutes. Caller, you're on with Rob Stern. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Carol.
Hi,
And I'm
Carol.
Carol.
Go ahead and ask your
So,
question. We thank you for calling. What's your question?
my question is related to USDA home loan.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm a bus operator, and I also get my disability. And I want to know, would it be hard for me to qualify for a USDA home loan?
No, ma'am, it shouldn't be. A USDA home loan is just like any other government-backed loan. There are some credit requirements. USDA requires a 580 credit score. That's a government requirement, but it's just like any other mortgage loan. Now, with that being said, a USDA loan has no down payment requirement with it, but there are other parameters that have to be met as far as debt ratios, et cetera. So, I mean, I'd love to help you get where you want to be and turn you into a homeowner. But there's a lot of other programs that might work for you as well, as far as no down payment. So why don't you give me a call when we get off the air and we can talk in a little bit more detail.
Yes, sir. No problem. And I have your number. I'm glad I got you this time.
Well, thank you so much, and I appreciate you reaching out. You have a blessed day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you so
Yes,
much for
ma'am.
calling. Well, that's a great question, Robin. I'm glad that she's going to follow up with you. We got about a minute and a half. Go ahead and wrap us up with why we need to get in this home and give us some information to call you like Carol did to ask questions and to get started on getting into that home.
Perfect. Well, okay. So the first thing I would say is exactly what Autumn keeps saying every week, and that is, do not self-diagnose your ability to become a homeowner.
Love it.
You know, we don't self-diagnose a sore throat or a broken
That's right.
leg. Don't self-diagnose your credit.
Love that.
If you want to become a homeowner, I will get you into a home, and I have no reason to believe anything other than we'll be successful. Yes, ma'am. Homeownership quite literally offers you a significant opportunity to tax deductions that are not available to you if you are renting or leasing an apartment. In addition to that, the equity that you can build up as a homeowner is unbeatable and unmatchable. More importantly, and most importantly, as a homeowner, you're sleeping literally in your bank account every night, and there's no other place you can get that benefit. You're gonna spend money on shelter. Why waste it on an apartment or a house when you can become a homeowner and achieve the American dream quite literally? My telephone number is 972-739-2350. That's 972-739-2350. You can also find me on the internet at Lenders Texas. That's spelled out LendersTexas.com. But please find me, reach out. Home purchases, refinance, cash out, home equity, reverse mortgage, whatever you need, I can help. You got to start somewhere. Give me a call.
All right. Rob Stern, it's always a pleasure being here with you in Mortgage Solutions Financial. I'll see you again, right?
Absolutely. It's a guarantee.
It's a
Thank you
deal.
much.
All right, everyone. Thanks, Rob. Everyone,
Take
have
care.
a good afternoon. You're listening to 1040 AM and 106.9 FM, KGGR.
KGGR invites you to
See you
tune in
later.
at 1 p.m. on Fridays for our weekly interview with Rob Stern of Mortgage Solution Financial. Rob has a wealth of information of the American